couple minutes late, but welcome to today's live. What's today? I think it's August 13th, maybe? August 13th? Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, August 13th, we'll go with that. Hey, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to be back in the place where I normally do my show. Thanks for y'all who bared with me last week when I was in New York City. I was definitely out of my comfort zone last week, where there were just people walking by me like the entire time, and I was trying to get my point across and I kept getting distracted. But we're back into my favorite place, which is my office in my home, and I get to look outside. It's a beautiful day, and I get to be with you guys, and I get to hopefully inspire you with some new wisdom that I have not shared yet on the show, but I'm super excited. Just shout out to Jen. So actually, there's something on my hat. Shout out to Jen Schro. I'm wearing her retreat hat that I got just last year. I worked her retreat in Anaheim, California. And she worked with like 200 catchers from across the country these past like 7 or 8 days. And yesterday was the last day of the second retreat. And I'm telling you right now, I hope she's on a vacation because she just worked her butt off to inspire athletes, catchers especially. And I know a few of the girls that were there, and they had the time of their lives. Another shout out to her, in between both sessions, they had a day where she revealed at UCLA, which was where she played, she revealed her brand new Easton Catchers line. Like, literally, she created catcher's gear specifically for females because we all know our bodies and our shapes are a little bit different than men. So, like, female catchers now have a line specific to them. I'll let Jen describe it all, but go to Jen Schro Catching and you'll be able to see the entire line of catching gear that she created and she launched this past week. I am so, so proud of her. So she's the reason why she inspired my hat today where it says retreat on it, because her retreat is legendary. I'm so sad I couldn't make it to see all the athletes there, but I know they had the time of their lives this past week. So today's topic that we're going to hit on is about when you're struggling with indecisiveness. It happens to me almost every single day. I get indecisive on some sort of topic, whether it be like what I wear today. I was honestly like indecisive. I was like, do I want to wear this cap that I don't normally wear? I normally wear like ball caps that are like the shape of my face, but today Jen inspired this one today. But either way, indecisiveness is something we all deal with, we all struggle with. Like, I guarantee you, I've been indecisive in the batter's box plenty of times in my career, and I know there are athletes here that go through the same exact thing. So being indecisive is something that has to do with confidence. If you are lacking in any sort of confidence at a certain period of time, and you go to try to do something that's kind of terrifying or scary, which standing in a box where a pitcher's throwing a pitch like inches away from your knee, like that's kind of scary. If you're ever indecisive or lack any confidence in the box at that point, you're probably not going to make the best decisions for yourself. So I'm here to give you 5 tips that I came up with this morning that I really think are going to help you become more decisive. Or when you're feeling indecisive, you try these tactics and boom, you're automatically more decisive. So in any aspect of your life, I feel like everybody needs to be more decisive. The more decisive you are, the more confident you are. So let's work on the word indecisiveness and transform it to being decisive today. So first of all, I love starting with quotes. I haven't done it in like the past few lives, but I love starting with quotes because I feel like it kind of puts you in the right mindset for the day. So yes, I got this quote from Mind Gym. Are you shocked? I'm not either. But I wanted to figure out, a quote that had to do with decisiveness and just having a little more confidence. And this was one that was actually written by a firefighter, but they say he's the Vince Lombardi of fire chiefs. But he said that confidence is knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. And I know that sounds crazy, but when you're indecisive, you're like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what steps to take. Like, let's say in the at-bat, you don't know what pitches to look for. But the best and the most confident people, they know how to get their mindset from not knowing what to do to just saying, you know what, I'm going to go for it and see how it goes. Another thing that this reminds me of is let's talk about catchers. I talked about them at the beginning. But catchers that never know what decision to make are the catchers that are going to struggle being leaders on the field. And we know that the catchers need to be the most confident in whatever they tell their defense, because they're the ones that the defense is going to do anything for. For example, there's a play at the plate, or there's going to be a play at the plate, and the catcher makes a decision for that outfielder to hit the cut, right? Like, they have to be so decisive with that decision. They have to make it known that that's the decision. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you ever think that a catcher's always going to be right, you're wrong. And that's it. If you're a catcher in that role, this is where it's tough, because if you're a catcher, you have to know that you're not always going to make the right decision, but that's okay. You have to be confident in that decision. You have to be decisive, because if you're indecisive in a situation where you have to make decisions fast, you're not going to be able to make any sort of play or have any sort of chance to get an out. So you have to be so decisive. You have to be able to make decisions fast. So if you're a catcher, you just have to know that you're not always going to be perfect with your decision, but because you're a leader and because that defense relies on you, you have to be able to be fast and decisive with your decision, okay? And by the way, when you don't make the right decision, which everybody on the field at times does not make the right decision, but when you do not make the right decision, you can't sulk and you can't literally put yourself into a position where you feel bad for yourself. You have to reverse that and say, you know what? I just learned what not to do the next time there's this situation. I just learned that, you know what? When the play is this close, when the runner is this close, that cutoff should not be yelled at. I should not have her cut off the ball. We should try to make the play and let the ball go through the cut. Things like that. If you don't make the right decision, understand that if you fail, you now know what not to do the next time, okay? So think of failure as a step forward. Don't think of failure as something where, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, my teammates aren't going to trust me. You own that decision that you made, even if it's not the right one, and you move on with your life, okay? So move on even when you make the wrong decision. Got it, catchers? I'm talking to catchers, but it relates to anybody. But for real, when you make decisions, do it with your whole heart. Do it knowing that you could be wrong, but you know that you are making this decision for the betterment of yourself and for your team. And own it if you make a mistake, okay? Always own it. Okay, so I got a little excited about that. But for real, be decisive, all right? So today we're trying to flip the script on being indecisive. So I'll read this quote one more time. Confidence is knowing what to do when you don't know what to do, okay? Knowing what decisions to just go with, and if you're wrong, and you learn from it, okay? So, that's my quote from Mind Gym. If you don't own this book, I'm going to tell you right now to go get it, because I'm going to be saying a lot more quotes from this every Monday. Not every Monday, but most Mondays. Okay, so here are going to be the 5 tips when you are indecisive, what you should try to become decisive. So, here's the thing. The first thing I would say if you're ever indecisive on something, and this, for example, I came up with this when I'm indecisive, like freaking figuring out what I'm going to wear for the day. I've been so indecisive on that before, but what gets me in the right headspace and the right mindset is whenever I feel like I'm indecisive with something, it's because I don't trust myself with the decision, or I'm like, oh, what if, so-and-so doesn't like my outfit when I pick it out. Here's the deal. This is the first tip I'm going to give you when you're indecisive. Have some sort of a jam, like literally a music jam or like a playlist that is going to pump you up. So for example, I told a lot of you guys on recent lives or past lives that Rachel Hollis is one of my favorite humans on this entire earth. I'm a part of her business coaching, and she just pumps me up with her words, but she actually made a playlist on Spotify for the Rise weekend, the conference that I went to, and it's called like Rise Weekend Dallas or something. I'll put it in the show notes at the end, so you can be guided to it. But it has songs about like empowerment, confidence. Like every time I hear it, I'm jumping around, I'm singing. There's Beyonce on there. There's like Carrie Underwood, all of these female like powerhouses on this playlist. And so whenever I'm indecisive at home, like trying to make decisions and I can't make one, I will put on this playlist, and sometimes I dance, sometimes I jump around, sometimes I yell at, like, that's the nice thing about living in an apartment. Actually, probably not the nice thing. My neighbors probably hate me for doing all of this. But whenever I listen to this jam, this playlist, I get in such a confident headspace that I'm like, dude, why was I ever indecisive about this? And then I go and I do it and I go with my gut, and I normally make better decisions that way. So the first thing I would say with the tips of how to be more decisive, have a jam, have some sort of a playlist that's going to pump you up and get you in the right headspace and put a smile on your face, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing I would say, if you're indecisive, is to try to find like a small win. For example, if you have dishes in the sink that need to be washed at some point, go wash them. All of a sudden you feel more powerful and confident because you just got rid of a task that you don't like doing, and it's over and you don't have to deal with it later. So find a small win. That's why the book, I think it's called Make Your Bed. It's written by, I think it's a Navy SEAL or someone in the military. But he always says, like, he starts the day making his bed. And this is like totally butchered. I haven't actually read the entire book. But the reason why that book is so powerful is because when you want to have a good day, you want to start your day with something positive, like a small win. And that small win is making your bed. Because now when you go home at the end of the day, you have a made bed, and it's like even better when you go into it. But also you're starting your day with something that you've accomplished, that you've done. So the second thing I would say, if you're trying to find some sort of confidence or like a little mental boost and try to be more decisive with some decision that you don't want to make, go find a small win. Go clean the kitchen. Go fold your laundry, which, by the way, I still have laundry from New York City that I still have to fold on my bed. It's like all behind me. So that might be my small win after this. But try to find a small win that after you're done with it, you're like, whew, all right, my chest is already taller, and I'm happy that I got that over with. So the second thing I would say when you're trying to be more decisive is find a little win to do. If you need ideas for that, send me a DM. I'm sure I can find you something to do. I'm sure your parents can probably help you find something to do to give yourself a small win. Even if it's just like a small workout. Like, so actually that's something, that was the fourth one that I had on the list, but let's just go to it anyway. The third thing that I would say, if you're trying to like be more decisive with decisions, is go do something physical, okay? And what I mean by that is do something that's, one, going to get your heart rate up, or do something that's going to also like give you some sort of adrenaline. So I would say do like 5 push-ups or do 10 push-ups, do a few burpees, do something that like annoys you that you're doing it. But once you do it, once you get done with those 5 burpees, you're just like, whoo, all right, that was tough. Okay, what was I trying to do? Oh, I was trying to make a decision. Okay, here's the answer. So whenever you like pump up your heart rate or you do something physical and you're like, oh yeah, I just did 5 push-ups, one, you're stronger, and most of the time when you're indecisive, you're losing that mental strength, right? You're losing a little bit of confidence. So if you go and you do something powerful, or you go on a run for like, let's say 10 minutes, afterwards you're going to feel empowered, you're going to feel excited. So doing something physical is going to help you be in the right headspace to go make a decision you don't want to make if you're indecisive with something. So that's the third thing I would say, is do something physical. And it doesn't have to be push-ups, doesn't have to be burpees, but something where it's going to get your heart rate up and you're going to feel better about yourself from doing it. Okay, so that's the third thing. The fourth thing I would say is kind of the opposite of the physical activity, but this one is super, super powerful. It's a tactic that I know I've talked about on a live before, but whenever I was indecisive, losing a little bit of confidence going into an at bat, I would try to gain confidence by visualizing. And what I mean by this is, so if you don't know how to make this decision, if you're a little indecisive on what to do, if you simply close your eyes and you visualize yourself after you have done the thing, that you don't want to do. You visualize what you're going to look like after, what type of state you're going to be in once you do the thing. You now have like made that decision easier, because you see, like, let's say you're going into an at bat and you're like, okay, I'm going to be smiling at second base because I just drove it to the right fielder. But I've been indecisive. So like, if I have to go into this at bat and I have to tell myself, what I want the outcome to be and look at the outcome before it's happened. And yes, I would say close your eyes, because you want to like make it a movie. And then you go into this at bat, making it a reality so that you have seen what's going to happen and your body is already in the state of making the thing happen, okay? So for example, you know how I talked about sometimes I'm indecisive, like figuring out what to wear? Because a lot of times it has to do with, oh, what are other people going to think that I look like? No, like I would say write that in there, visualize where, like what you want, what you can picture yourself looking like at this restaurant or at this concert. Like what do you want the pictures afterwards to look like? And you're like, okay, like this decision just became easier because I just forwarded my mind into the future that I want, and then boom, I'm making the decision to make that thing happen. So like I said, like if you're in the batter's box beforehand, you're like indecisive, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm losing confidence, I don't know what to do. Close your eyes, visualize yourself after you have done the thing and doing that thing that you want to do. So let's say you want to hit a double. Like visualize what you would have to do. By the way, I would say visualize things that you have done in the past because you already know what that feels like. So if you've never hit a home run before, I would not say visualize yourself hitting a home run because you honestly don't. You've never done it. So you can't visualize something that's not happened already. So visualize, if you're talking from a softball perspective, oh yeah, remember when I like drove the ball up the middle that one time? It felt so good. That pitch was right there. I was here at contact. I could see the ball coming off my bat. Like literally visualizing in a detailed experience is likely going to make that thing happen. So if you're indecisive, if you're like losing a little bit of confidence, visualize the thing, okay? Visualize the thing happening and likely that thing will happen, okay? So it'll make your decision a little bit easier in the box to make that thing happen. Okay, the very last thing that I would say if you are losing a little bit of confidence and are a little indecisive is have a mantra, okay? I'm going to repeat it. Have a mantra, all right? So if you guys don't know what a mantra is, it's basically a saying or a slogan that you are going to live by no matter what, okay? So if you're indecisive, you're losing confidence, right? When you're losing confidence, you need to find things that are going to gain it. So I gave you 4 other things that you could work on, but this one is so powerful, and I saved it for last because this is so important. But you need to have some sort of a mantra that when you are losing confidence or you're not having the confidence in those decisions, so you're indecisive, having this saying or this phrase that's going to help you see, it's also kind of like a visualization technique, but it's like saying where you want to be and having the mantra that you're going to live by. For example, these are some great ones that I wrote down that I looked up before this, but if you are thinking that you're not going to be able to find success, you say, success will find me. Okay, you literally give success no other answer other than success is going to find me. It will find me. So when you're feeling indecisive, you say success will find me. Now you start thinking that way and acting that way. Another one that I liked is it's my time. Okay, so like let's say you've been 0 for 10 for a few at bats. You're not feeling great. Your decisiveness up to bat is so terrible. You're just like, I don't even know what a strike is anymore. And you say, it's my time. You literally just stopped the game in its tracks and you said, I don't care what pitch is coming next. It's my time. I'm going to make it happen. Boom, you're automatically in a good headspace. Another one that I really liked, a mantra that you could say to yourself is, I am ready. Okay? I love this one. I love this one because no matter what, you're going to be in a situation where you have been putting in work for that thing for a while. So let's say you have, a big at bat coming up against a team and you're in the space where like you're almost still in practice mode because you're just like, oh, I just put in all the reps. I was really working on my back hip this week. I'm going to really focus on my back hip. But I would rather you not think that, but just think, all of the practice that I've been doing is making me ready for this situation I'm in right now. I am ready. And you literally you keep it simple. You're only thinking about the ball. I'm ready because you've put in the work before. You put in the work outside of practice on your own, and being able to say, I am ready, you can actually feel it, be it, and do it, and you will surprise yourself with how much success you're going to find. So that's an amazing mantra. A funny one that I know some people have that I freaking love of a mantra is like your role model, whoever that is. For example, I talked about Rachel Hollis before. Her role model is like Beyonce. And so she would literally say, what would Beyonce do? Like, and I know last week, if you were here listening to me when I was in New York City, I talked about, having the role model and saying, what would Caitlin Lowe do? That was my role model growing up. But like, that also helped me like give some confidence in myself and like, okay, I don't know what to do, but what would so-and-so do? So Rachel Hollis would always say, what would Beyonce do? And I think that's a good one because Beyonce is a queen, right? We don't know all the things that she does, but like in that situation, it always looks like she has confidence. So find somebody that has a ton of confidence and be like, okay, what would they do? What would Beyonce do in this situation? When you're trying to figure out what to wear, Beyonce would be like, oh, I'm feeling myself today. I'm going to pick out this outfit and we're going to move on. It helps you make decisions when you kind of put yourself in the mind space of someone who's very confident. So find somebody confident and say, what would blank do? I'm going to say probably what would Beyonce do all the time now. But let's revert it to softball because I'm a softball coach. If you're going up to bat and you're losing that confidence and you're like, boom, okay, I'm a lefty hitter. Who's a lefty hitter that has a bunch of confidence? I think Amanda Chittister left-handed? I don't know, but she is rocking it right now. I think she was like the best hitter in the NPF this past year. So I would say, what would Amanda do? What would Amanda do? The best hitter in the NPF right now, what would she do in this situation? Oh, she would probably have a little more confidence, stand a little taller, and she knows what she wants. So at least looking like you know what you want, you can make it happen. Allison's telling me do a TED Talk. Love this so much. That's so funny. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a TED Talk sometime. That'd be fun. But yeah, so like find somebody to, make the mantra, what would blank do? But literally having a mantra is not something that you should try doing. I think it's something you should really research and like do some soul searching. Like what is something that if you lack confidence, maybe your mantra is, I am confident. Like maybe if you're lacking like strength, you feel like you're weak. Maybe if you're like a player that, someone in like a teammate or a coach has said, oh, you're too small, which by the way, I lived like half of my life saying, oh, you're too small. You're not going to go play at a big school. You're too little. Literally having the mantra of, I am strong. I am confident. I am worthy. I am worthy of being here. These are mantras that like when you need it the most, especially when people are doubting you, you have this mantra in your back pocket, you whip it out and you're like, I am strong. Yes, I am. And you start being it. I'm dead serious. Having a mantra is something that everybody should have, whether you play sports or not. Because there are going to be times where you are human and you don't believe in your abilities at some point. So the word indecisiveness of the day, it's where you're lacking confidence in your decisions, right? So if you ever feel indecisive, you whip out this mantra and your decisions just became that much easier, okay? So have that mantra, literally like pull out a Post-it note, write your mantra on it. If you guys can see, I have a bunch of Post-it notes over there. I probably have like 3 or 4 mantras posted up there. But that's just me. I'm always posting stuff, just so I can see it. And that's the whole point. Like you want to put this somewhere where it's visible. Like there's probably not a good space anymore. I used to have my desk over there so I could always look at them. But I may have to start moving some to like my bathroom window or my mirror, because like I'm looking at my mirror all the time. So if you put your mantra on your mirror, you put your mantra on your desk, you put your mantra in your lunchbox, like wherever you find yourself at a lot or looking at a lot, put the mantra on there. I should legitimately like put some on my water bottle because I'm always sipping out of here. Put your mantra where it's visible so you can be living that mantra your entire life. Okay, so basically that's all I got for the 5 things to help you with being more decisive, but I'll just review them again if you are just jumping on here. But have a jam. Have some sort of a playlist that's going to get you in the right headspace as soon as you listen to it. That's 1. 2, do a small win, whether it's making your bed, cleaning the dishes, brushing your teeth, which you should be doing anyway. Maybe that's your thing. Find a small win that when you do it, you feel better about it, better about yourself, that you don't have to do it later. Boom. 3, do something physical. Do something that's going to get your heart rate up, get adrenaline up so you can go attack the day, all right? So that thing's going to get you in the right headspace as well. And you always do that, and whenever your heart rate's up, you're excited about something. And so when you're excited and your heart rate's up, your decisions are way easier. You're like, oh yeah, I don't know why I was even in the headspace of not being able to be decisive. So boom, do something physical. 4, visualize yourself in the future where you want to be, and do it with as much detail as possible. Like, take a few seconds. A lot of people, before they're at bat, they'll look at their bat, they'll close their eyes, they'll see the picture, they'll play the movie where they want to be, they'll play the movie in their mind of where they want to be, and boom, they're in the batter's box, now pursuing that thing that they want to have happen. So think it, believe it, do it. And then the 5th thing is have some sort of a mantra, okay? Have some sort of a mantra where when you're doubting yourself and you're lacking confidence, whip it out. Say, I am strong, I am confident, it's my time, I am ready, success will find me. There are so many mantras out there. If you need help finding one, go to Google and write down what's a good mantra that sports players have. What's LeBron James's mantra? I'm sure he has one. I'm sure you can find something like that. So look up a mantra for yourself and make it visible. Put it everywhere you are. Put it on your water bottle, put it on your desk, put it in the kitchen, put it in your bathroom. Read your mantra often, and soon you'll be doing the thing more often, okay? All right, so those are the 5 things about being more decisive. I'm going to end today's show with something that I've been ending many of my shows on because I'm so darn excited about it. But I am launching an online course. It's called the Ashley B Goal Setting Academy. And what we're going to be doing starting August 30th is we are going to come up with a goal for ourselves, okay? I'm going to help you come up with a goal for yourself if you do not have one already. We are going to go through the roadmap of how to make that goal happen. What type of mindset do you need to create? What type of habits do you need to create to make that goal happen? Goals just don't happen out of the blue. A lot of times, like, if you want that goal to happen, you want it to happen fast, you have to be able to have steps that you're taking every day to get there. So I'm going to help you develop those steps. We're also going to, like we talked about habits, but we're also going to have lives where, like, just like this, I'm going to be speaking with all of my students in the Ashley B Goal Setting Academy, and we are going to go over different topics. And I don't want to go like too deep into it, but it's going to be obviously like defining the goal. It's going to be having accountability buddies and accountability people who are going to help you get to that goal. We're going to be talking about a lot of other things on the lives as well. I actually spent my entire trip home from New York yesterday coming up with the entire PDFs that I will be sending out to my students every single week, where they're going to be doing deep dives into, why does this goal need to happen? Why do I want this goal to happen? What am I willing to do to sacrifice to make this goal happen as fast as it can? And the best part is, this stuff that I'm going to teach you is going to pertain to any goal that you create. So if you take this class once, and we're setting our mind for like a specific goal right now, you go and attain that goal, let's say in a few months, in a year, boom, you have the steps for when you have your new goal to go do it again. So that's the whole point of this Goal Setting Academy, is to give you the step-by-step process of how to have a goal, how to create the things behind the goal to make the goal happen, and also have accountability within the group. We're going to do a FaceTime or a live, I don't have FaceTime, I don't have an iPhone. We're going to do a live show with everybody in the group, and then we're also going to have a session where it's going to be me individually meeting with you over the goal that you're creating. So I'm going to help you, come up with that goal, tell you if it's big enough, and I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people play small when it comes to goals. I want you to think about a huge goal so we can have little mini goals to help you get to the big goal. So I'm going to be on a live with just you. I'm going to do a live with the entire group, and we're going to have a community of goal getters, and we are going to crush them together. And I cannot wait to see who's going to be joining. But this is going to start on August 30th. Registration will be the week before, so you'll be able to register for it. I think it's the 17th. So that'll be the first day. I think you can register. Don't worry, I'll put up things on social media. But if you want to be in the loop on all the things early, I want you to subscribe to my email list. So go to my website, ashleybtraining.com, get on my email list, and you'll be able to see how you can register before everybody else. So sign up for my email list. You'll be able to do all the things early. Okay, well, thanks guys for hanging out with me and talking about indecisiveness and how you can use that to fuel you to use 5 things to help you be more decisive, be more confident in life. I hope you guys crush the week, and I cannot wait to see you next week. I don't know what next week's topic's going to be, but I do know that this Wednesday, my friend Amanda, who runs the page Fearless Fast Pitch on Facebook and Instagram. If you have not followed her already, I post her stuff all the time. She and I are going to be on an Instagram Live together on Wednesday. We're going to be talking about, more mental approaches, goal setting approaches. And so find her and I. We're going to be on at 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Amanda Schaefer and I, who runs Fearless Fast Pitch, we're going to be on here doing like a dual screen. It's not going to be on Facebook, so go ahead and hop over to Instagram. Follow me at Smashly4, and we're going to be talking about all the things when it comes to mindset and going after goals. So that'll be Wednesday. Can't wait to see you. 3 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. Follow my social media. I'll probably post it on there. But crush the week. You guys are amazing. I'll leave you with the final quote that I said earlier by Alan Brunacini. He told me that confidence is knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. That's true confidence. All right, you guys are amazing. I'll see you guys later.